The city has reserved this room for a large group of illegal aliens coming in from Texas.
Welcome to the Veteran Biker Channel. This is where we expose the hypocrisy and the mountain of steaming lies from the liberal left. And oh, it gets so good. Kamala Harris, you know, she's the champion of the people, the defender of the downtrodden, until it's inconvenient, of course. Whether it's her tough on crime days as a prosecutor or her sudden flip to a progressive policies, Harris sure knows how to straddle both sides of an issue. Just ask Willie Brown. Hypocrisy? Nah, just multitasking. And the gap between Donald Trump and Kamala Harris is spreading wider than her legs ever did. The Al Smith fundraiser last night was glorious to watch. And Jim Gaffigan, he has suffered with Trump derangement syndrome for years. But now it seems like he's really coming around and seeing how much of a hypocrite Kamala Harris is, and more importantly, the Democrat Party. But Jim Gaffigan, you'll never be on Netflix again. It was nice to see you. You'll probably be, I don't know, kicked to the curb and go over to Saturday Night Live where nobody can see you.
I'm sorry, why is Vice President Harris not here? I mean, consider this. This is a room full of Catholics and Jews in New York City. This is a layup for the Democratic nominee. I mean, in her defense, she did find time to appear on The View, Howard Stern, Colbert, and the longtime staple of campaigning, the Call Her Daddy podcast.
Kamala Harris is suffering from Trump derangement syndrome. Just the night before, she was on the Bret Baier show on Fox News, got excoriated. And just when you think things can't get any worse, someone in her campaign told her not to go to this event. The last time a Democrat presidential nominee didn't show up, his name was Walter Mondale, and he's not even really in the history books, but he lost 49 states. Walter Mondale. Are we seeing a repeat of that? And Kamala Harris didn't show up, and it only got worse. Do me a favor, follow me over on veteranbikerlocals.com. I'll put a link down in the description, and I can show you clips like this of J.D. Vance and Donald Trump. And this kind of content's not really allowed here. We can speak more like adults. Follow me there. We've got a private Patriot chat. You'll love it. This full, uncensored, unedited video will be there for my members only.
I never know how to address you people. Do you prefer, global elite or coastal elite? I know we live in sensitive times, and I don't want to mislabel anyone. Which reminds me, Letitia James is here. She had a great year. She's just back there watching all of you. She is watching.
No one was exempt from being roasted by Jim Gaffigan or Donald Trump. And you can see Letitia James sitting right behind here. Donald Trump is 2 seats over from the podium next to Cardinal Dolan and Chuck Schumer. And Chuck Schumer really got excoriated.
The Democrats have been telling us Trump's reelection is a threat to democracy. In fact, they were so concerned of this threat, they staged a coup, ousted their democratically elected incumbent, and installed Kamala Harris. In other words, all her dreams have come true. Really? It really makes you consider the power of prayer, right, Cardinal? Sometimes prayers take 3.5 years and a George Clooney op-ed.
Jim Gaffigan just lost all chances of ever being on a comedy special on Netflix or anywhere else. He has gone into oblivion and probably prosecuted by Letitia James behind him. But it only got better because Donald Trump got up and just eviscerated Kamala Harris. These are Donald Trump's top 10 moments from the Al Smith dinner last night. Stand by.
The fact is, we need new leadership in this country. Right now, we have someone in the White House who can barely talk, barely put together 2 coherent sentences, who seems to have mental faculties of a child, it's said. Is a person that has nothing going, no intelligence whatsoever, but enough about Kamala Harris. Let's get on to something else. I used to think the Democrats were crazy for saying that men have periods, but then I met Tim Walz.
Oh, man. You can see right in front of him, there's Mayor Bloomberg and Robert Kraft. And Bloomberg does not crack a smile. It's absolutely cringeworthy to watch this, but it was so glorious that Kamala Harris didn't show up. She submitted a video, and I'll play that at the end. I'm actually going to put that over on the Locals channel because I think YouTube will probably, screw with me for sharing some kind of copyrighted content. But this only got worse for Kamala Harris because even Hillary Clinton showed up to this.
But look on the bright side, Chuck, considering how woke your party has become. If Kamala loses, you still have a chance to become the first woman president. Joe has almost disappeared from view. The only way he could be seen less is if he had a show on CNN. They had nothing. They've got nothing. But unfortunately, Governor Walz isn't here himself, but don't worry, he'll say that he was. He's going to say he was. Tradition holds that I'm supposed to tell a few self-deprecating jokes this evening. So here it goes. Nope, I've got nothing. I've got nothing.
That's my boy, Donnie.
There's nothing to say. I guess I just don't see the point of taking shots at myself when other people have been shooting at me for a hell of a long time, and they shoot hard. And as you may have seen, Kamala did an interview on Fox News yesterday. It went so poorly for her that the Democrats have been forced to install another 100 drop boxes throughout the city. There's a group called White Dudes for Harris. Have you seen this? White Dudes for Harris. Anybody know? Are some of you here? White Dudes for Harris. Doesn't sound like it. But I'm not worried about them at all because their wives and their wives' lovers are all voting for me.
The White Dudes for Harris joke had me rolling because there were some white dudes in the crowd that are for Harris. And Trump just slammed them and their wives' lovers. How amazing.
We have another former New York City mayor with us, frankly, easily the worst in our history. And it's not Michael, that I can tell you. I'm surprised that Bill de Blasio was actually able to make it tonight, to be honest. He was a terrible mayor. I don't give a shit if this is comedy or not. He was a terrible mayor. He did a horrible job. That's not comedy, by the way, that's fact. Well, I'd better wrap up because Mayor Adams told me earlier that I needed to make this one very quick, especially the city has reserved this room for a large group of illegal aliens coming in from Texas.
No one was exempt from being roasted by Donald Trump. He absolutely excoriated them and Kamala Harris. It was one night where everybody could come together and laugh at Kamala Harris because that's all they seemed to do. Donald Trump was in the room and just delivered joke after joke after joke on Kamala. And she wasn't there to defend herself. And we're starting to see why. She's not good in public. There was no teleprompter here. And we all know what Kamala is like without a teleprompter. She's dangerous. She is a danger to herself and a danger to the Democrat Party. And I'm a firm believer that's why Chuck Schumer and Nancy Pelosi did not let her show up. This is where I cut the video and we move straight over to locals. For all of my locals people, have I got a treat for you.